Now, this film purports to depict a party of adventurers coming across a lost tribe in the middle of the forest. The tribe is obviously apprehensive of these outsiders and is attempting to frighten them away. Nevertheless, they remain on film, as explorers do. It's meant to be quite isolated, but I'm not sure where it was shot. Indeed, I am not certain that I would want to be in the woods here. However, as we all know, uncontacted tribes can pose a serious threat. However, while being somewhat agitated, these people appear to be rather composed. One reviewer noted that the presence of a road in one of the images is confusing him if this is meant to be such a secluded location. And I kind of agree. It may make the entire situation questionable. This whale bursts the water in this incredible video. I believe this was shot down off the coast of Virginia in the Chesapeake Bay. What are the chances, really? Millions of times I've been in boats like this and even out in the bay like that. I mean, it sends that person straight out of there and capsizes that boat. "No, we're out of here," says the man in the front. That's nuts, man. I have never seen that down the bay in my entire life. I've already seen this video. This video, which was shot in China, has generated a lot of attention. Both people who don't believe in mythical animals like dragons and those who do were captivated by it. They all believe that the hiker in this video has captured what at first glance looks to be a huge bird circling the sky. However, upon closer inspection and zooming in, its features appear to be highly unusual. The creature moves very fast for its size and has enormous wings and a lengthy tail. You have to ask yourself, how in the world is this thing gliding through the air with grace, given its enormous size? The majority of commenters have raised their eyebrows at that point, speculating that we might be viewing footage of a real dragon. The meteor that actually makes it daylight after nightfall becomes quite bright. This is a really awesome video. This guy jumps off his jet ski and dives beneath to avoid the shockwaves. After that, there's simply a crab swimming, which we'll go over again at the conclusion of this. And this is the creepiest thing in my view. What the devil, is that real, really? Does that thing actually exist? Is that a single eyeball, like the center of the head of a cyclops? What on earth? I've witnessed this section. They call this the breathing of the forest. In fact, this is rather awesome. I find it cool. It's not creepy. Finally, here is a very awesome one. This osprey simply plunges, submerges itself entirely, and snatches a massive fish. As I mentioned earlier, these are all really awesome. Also, keep in mind that I said we will go back and look at the crab. They decided that the crab swimming was the creepiest after reading through all of the comments. It seems like 90% of the people watching this have never been to the ocean or are unaware that crabs can swim. That kind of blew my mind away. Every comment said, "Oh, the crab swimming is the craziest, I mean. The creepiest thing is that." Whoa, I had no idea crabs could swim. I suppose there was a new horror that was unlocked for some people. I'm not sure. Tell me whether that startled you or if you were unaware that the crab could swim. Therefore, the initial goal of this video was to make public the existence of a secret landfill-like location close to a metropolitan area. However, what we observe inside this bus soon overshadowed that. Observe the windows carefully. What was that? When the camera moves inside the bus, what looks to be a face in the window magically disappears. My heart kind of fell, but this must be some kind of cunning ruse or something. We slowed down the movie, frame per frame, even though the abrupt camera movement may indicate a chance for manipulation. Surprisingly, there don't appear to be any cuts in the footage. However, if you guys notice anything, please let me know. A boar just burst through this fence in this quite bizarre movie. He goes right through it after all. There is no hope for this. He isn't even significantly slowed down by it. And see him make the most elegant little jump into the garden? Toes that twinkle. If you look closely, you can see that the boar must have been crossing the road after going down that hill. He must have been terrified and thought, I have to smash through this gate, or I'll be danged if he doesn't. If a boar were to burst through your gate and charge at you when you are standing in your small courtyard, that would be something. Yes, you believed it to be that. A drone picks up a bear that is pursuing a man. Is this real, really? Is this possible? For example, how likely is it that this drone was in the woods at the time of this incident? I'm not sure. This is unbelievable if it is. The bear almost decides which one he wants after looking back at it, don't you think? But I don't know, dude. If this were a true clip, it would be simply unreal. That's a pretty funny clip. I'm not sure whether I've ever seen this before. Take a look at that. A black bear in Canada approached a golf cart, yanked a man's golf bag off of it, and is now dragging it down this ravine. Earlier that day, they claimed to have seen this bear and its pups playing on a tee box. There was no food in the cart or any of the bags, according to the man and witnesses. The man added that there was absolutely no food in his luggage. That didn't stop the bear from stealing the bag, though. The bag was nowhere to be seen, but the majority of the clubs spilled out along the hill and right there by the cart. Bears and other wildlife are quite common on this mountain golf course, but this is truly a once-in-a-million footage. Personally, I'm not sure, dude. The man was approaching the animal a bit too closely. We may be telling a different narrative now if she had charged straight up that slope after all. Recently, this video went viral on Instagram, generating a lot of comments in the process. We observe this strange pattern in the sky that somewhat resembles a sonic boom or shockwave. However, allow me to provide some background. SpaceX successfully launched their Falcon 9 rocket back in August 2017. Everything appeared to be going as planned, and it appeared to be simply another textbook launch. Recent data, however, indicates that this launch actually created a transient hole in the ionosphere, a region of Earth's atmosphere. The part of our atmosphere called the ionosphere is where the sun's radiation and energy perform some really amazing things. In any case, it is significant because long-distance radio communication is made possible by the ionosphere, which aids in the bouncing of radio waves. Without going into too much detail, rockets essentially travel on a curved trajectory. The SpaceX launch, though, was unique. It had a very light cargo and was more vertical to start. In fact, it created a hole in the layer that was roughly 559 miles across. In any event, it produced these bizarre-looking acoustic boom waves which terrified everyone. Please let me know if you noticed these and whether you think the experts or our administration are telling the truth. In any case, I think it looks very great. But if I were out on my deck and I saw it, I would probably be a little concerned. Mark Roberts captured the following video while using 2 pickaxes to climb a mountain in Snowdonia. A piece of ice that another climber had knocked loose above him strikes him as he is ascending, forcing him to lose his hold and fall 100 feet down the mountain. I may add, at a quite high speed. In the video, Roberts can be seen falling down the gully and colliding with ice and boulders until eventually stopping. What a terrifying moment caught on film. Roberts was lucky to escape with only a broken ankle. After fellow climbers witnessed the incident and contacted emergency personnel, he was quickly flown from the mountain. Whoa, no one wants to break their ankle, but I have no doubt that Mark will trade it for anything worse. The following clip is really awesome. A tale of an innocent couple having a good time together, taking a few selfies to document their joy. As you can tell, they are simply in love. Before their brief photo shoot took an odd turn, everything was going according to plan. It seemed as though the man was suddenly and literally dragged down to the earth. He really does vanish from the view of the camera. A terrifying detail may be seen just over the man's left shoulder if you look closely. He loses his footing as a ghostly hand suddenly materializes and pulls him down. I had trouble spotting it at first, so I rewound a few seconds. Be ready, though, for the camera records something even more eerie as he falls. A young woman with long, jet-black hair and dead, empty eyes. I mean, what's happening here? Commenters are speculating about whether this is a spooky entity or some kind of well-planned joke. The individuals in the picture claimed not to recognize the individual, but I'm not sure because that's what a lot of hoaxers would say. Either of those two things applies. Either a demon is trying to drain your soul, or it's a practical joke. A mother shared the following video that was taken by her home security camera on January 28, 2024. She stated that this video was shot in her bedroom, which has been the scene of several paranormal activity reports. In one of these cases, her daughter claimed to have heard a woman scream and fled the room. The mother was perplexed and claimed not to have heard a scream, but when she looked at the video, she noticed this. Her kid runs out of the room after hearing an unexpected scream. Although some readers speculate that the camera may have been compromised, this does not account for the other odd activity that has been occurring throughout her house. This video, according to the mother, is proof of a supernatural phenomenon. You decide whether or not that is true. Here is some really fascinating Rocky Mountain Sasquatch audio. A listener who is fairly certain that these are Bigfoot vocalizations submitted it. Take a look at this.
What the fuck is that noise? What is that noise?
Okay, what are your thoughts? Is this real? It sounds like it's coming from a human-like monster, but it also seems a little bit like a residential neighborhood. If any of you have heard anything like this, please let me know in the comments. A particular video has been going viral on Reddit. It's quite crazy. The video was captured by a security camera at Florida's Jacksonville Beach Pier. Now, focus on the upper left corner of the screen while watching this video. You will notice a very bright light that is not merely stationary, but rather pulsates and hovers in mid-air. After a while, the lights begin to move. It hovers only a few inches above the water's surface before disappearing. Totally vanishes from view of the camera. Indeed, there hasn't been much coverage of this, but the first person to notice this enigmatic object was a man named Matt, who happened to come upon it while watching CCTV footage. According to some theories, this might simply be a drone, or possibly a strange camera issue. Perhaps the object appeared rather strange due to the compression rate of the camera. Certainly a possibility. However, there are other topics that people are discussing and pondering, and you are undoubtedly aware of them. Anyway, what do you think of this? What do we believe is actually taking place here? This is a really cool video. This image has received a lot of attention since it was first shared on a subreddit. It's not just any old photo of the grave of the uploader's great-great-grandfather. Children are gathered around the grave in this heartwarming black and white photograph. However, that isn't the most fascinating aspect. Something truly eerie is happening in the background. A woman's figure can be seen in the background on the left side of the burial. Her features aren't very visible, though. She appears to be missing something since her head and face are somewhat covered with white light, simply unable to distinguish any unique traits. Her face is still obscured, even in a corrected copy of the picture. That adds to its uncanny and enigmatic quality, in my opinion. What are your thoughts, then? Let's think about this. Decades ago, the picture was taken, long before Photoshop and other AI-related programs, long before they were created. This raises the question of whether this is a real capture of a ghost. To be honest, it makes me think. Now, this scene looks like it belongs in a horror film. For some reason, this person is photographing an underpass on a snowy night as it begins. The next thing you know, they are moving in the direction of a manhole and a house. Additionally, the sounds emanating from that manhole are really unsettling. It sounds like a scene from a motion picture. Down there, what the devil? What are we thinking? Is Pennywise under there, as we believe? According to one commenter, this might simply be a strange plumbing problem. In any case, it's horrific, and I'm not shocked that the man recorded it. Reddit user RainPlanet1442 shared an unsettling image that has left viewers both alarmed and perplexed. The image, which was taken at night in Portland, Maine, seems to show something in an abandoned building's window. Or ought I to mention someone? The user claims that they were taking pictures of Portland while strolling around the city with their mother. They didn't realize there was something uncanny about one of the pictures until they were looking through them on the way back. The structure in question was now mostly boarded up and absolutely dark. However, there is a figure visible in one of the windows. It's zoomed in here. The picture appears to depict a presence that shouldn't be there, even though the structure is abandoned. The online community came up with a number of theories after the user published many enlarged copies of the image that showed the figure from various perspectives. A man even made the amusing remark that the person looked like Mark Zuckerberg. Conversely, you witnessed others adopting a far more somber stance, attempting to ascertain the true source of this strange apparition. According to other theories, it could have been a homeless individual using the abandoned warehouse as a place to stay. Some believe it to be a ghost. This sighting is made more eerie by the location, an abandoned warehouse that hasn't been used in decades. According to the user's mother, who lives nearby, the building has been known to be closed for a while. Thus, once more, it is illegal for anyone to be inside. What then do we have? I can clearly see the person, the picture, or whatever the photographer captured. It appears to me as well that the creature has their shades drawn. That tilt above its head was created by it being nearly dragged to the side. I'm not sure. Our eyes might be deceiving us, but all of this remains a mystery until more proof is found.